Okay, I'm going to talk about esoteric validation versus exoteric. Esoteric is something that's known to a few people or known to yourself. My definition is not going to be the greatest because it took me a few hours to put these links in the description of the different reading. But the reading is very esoteric, as in like the common populace, the mass amount of people, they don't know about this sort of shit. But it's like transgender history, or it's like transgender legacy, so to speak. I'm not using the right words because I'm tired as fuck. But so like the Kabbalion, right? It's got the principle of gender, so that's gonna go into like how there's duality and everything. You got your positive proton, your negative electron. You got your night, day, yin, yang, and then the next one's mental gender, which goes into how that reflects into the self. So one is the physical manifestation, and the other is the internal manifestation. And it gets into some really deep stuff, and this is like stuff that trans people need to be up on. Like this is our gift. Bitch a little bit about the science here. The science. That's not us. Like I'm tired as fuck, but that's not us. Like it's blind, it's dumb. Only it's a religion, and only a small amount of people actually believe in it. Or if people are going along with it, they don't actually believe in it. It's just like it's convenient to their policy. It's like you gotta get all your vaccines. Like no matter if they tell you to get 15 fucking boosters, you gotta do it because it's the science. And if you don't go along with that, well then you don't support trans rights. Or you support trans rights, well then you gotta support getting 15 boosters. So that's the exoteric shit, and the exoteric is like it's like doctrine. How everyone defines something. So it's how I'm trying to use this is it's the external forcing control over it, or it's the like sort of the vulgar, very wishy-washy, 5-minute attention span, talking points, bullshit knowledge that's just sprung up in the last like 10-15 years, right? But then there's shit that goes back like thousands of years. Like we have like we're shamans and shit. Kind of like a bridge between two worlds. So that's like the esoteric. Like it's not known. It's not like widely known. It's not widely understood. We have access to that, and it's like a part of our history, and it's definitely a part of who we are. Like shit, like in the Kabbalion, the mental gender thing. It applies to everyone because everyone's got a little bit of feminine and masculine, and it brings up some issues that really shed light on the world. This shit was written way back, and it's been predictive of what's going on now. But for a transgender person, it's very, very important. Everyone knows about Freud because Freud, I think he had a lot of insights that were convenient for the control of people. Like yeah, he was right on this, right on that, but he's wrong on this, wrong on that. And the state was like, well, it works for us. Let's push this, let's push this. But his rival was Jung, and Jung doesn't get talked about much because Jung could like help people get their self-realization going. But he talks about stuff like the shadow. Like the butt comes in is because trans folk will, let's say I'm whatever his face is that like threatened Ben Shapiro or whatever. I'm gonna put you in the hospital or whatnot. That was his shadow coming through. Like, yeah, he's dressed like a woman and whatnot. But he's saying like he is a woman. and he's totally denying that masculine aspect. So he's pushing it down into his shadow. He's repressing it, and then it comes out unconsciously. Like Jung is like way the fuck up here. Freud is like down here. Yeah, that's why the state don't want you knowing about Jung. Look into the anima. If you're like trans in the way I am, look up anima. If you're a female that's masculine, look up the animus. I got it all in the description links. It took me like a long ass time. It really took me a long ass time was getting the masculine and feminine traits, because it's just like it was just I'm so frustrated. The masculine traits was just, there was so much of it. There was like toxic masculinity, or it was like 45 different things, you know, and it's just like all over the fucking place. And then the feminine things, like, oh, how to be more feminine. And it was just like vanity, a lot of it vanity. Like no, like that's not what I'm. That's what we need to get away from. You know, oh, masculinity is bad, blah blah blah. Or, oh, femininity is all about, you know, looking pretty and just loving your body and being like nobody can judge you kind of thing. Like everyone judges everybody, but it's like this sort of like, oh, I'm sacrosanct because nobody's sacrosanct. I can't say it quite, except maybe babies, because, you know, like they, I don't know. That's just a whole different tangent. So check out those links. Like I got some history down there. It goes way the fuck back, like before Christianity and all that shit. Like, you know, where before we was abominations, like we was around way before then, because we're natural. Like we occur. Like I might throw in the divergence. It's a lecture series by Harvard. Can't remember his full name, but if I have to try to remember that, throw that in there too. So that kind of shows like we're natural, like we're a product of the human species evolving and getting bigger, and not having just to like rely upon like survival day to day, and like having no conscience, like being like an animal, like, or even and some animal populations, like there's the weird ones like us. We're weird. We have to come to terms with that. I would say self-improvement was one of the mental health things. So self-improvement can be it can be like reading, like not reading the junk or the stuff that affirms what you are, your talking points. Like, it was so hard to, like, it was so much of that bullshit, right? Like I'm looking stuff up to try to share some good links, and it's just bullshit. I gotta go way down, and I gotta find the gold. So that would be the self-improvement upon like getting to know like yourself and how trans people are throughout history, not like in the last 10-15 years. And that'll help you understand the agenda too of how we're being manipulated. We're supposed to reconcile opposites. We're not supposed to be the divisive force that's just chopping, like we're being used as like a solvent for chemistry, you know. But we're breaking society. We're destroying society with our bullshit. When it's an inversion, because the state and shit is good at making inversions of everything. So instead of reconciling opposites, we're exacerbating it. But with the self-improvement, it's like also improve outside of the trans shit. Like don't just like have hobbies that are outside of that, or have interests that are, like, don't make your whole identity about being just trans. Like I get it, like because if you're under pressure, feel like you're getting persecuted and shit, you double down, and it's like being in the trench. But like don't make your whole life about being in that trench. Like play some cards or something. Like do neutral shit. Like like playing cards was you know, like kind of what came to my mind, because let's say you are like, you're under attack, whatever, and you're in your trench. But so, and like everything, like the guns and the preparations and all that shit's like because you're ready for war, because you feel like you're under attack all the time. But when you whip out like a deck of cards, and you're just chilling playing some cards, because it just, I don't know, it's like it happens to be a lull of an hour or something, but this is not actual literal fucking war. So people way overreact, and that causes people just to like substitute their whole identity with a cause when they need to be able to chill. Like, we gender all our words, not all our words, but I remember when I was learning German, you know, that it's like everything's gendered, so it's like you can paint, but then you say, oh, that's feminine thing, it's art, you know, which there's just some truth to that, I guess. It don't have to be like super specific though. Just don't approach it like paint something other than a fucking rainbow flag or a trans flag, or like paint a horse just to paint a horse. It don't have to be a fluffy unicorn. It don't have to be like, I don't know. So like if you're say you're a female that's trying to be more masculine, like go to the gym, you know, like pump iron or whatever. Learn how to be handy with tools. But don't like revolve your whole identity if you're into makeup and stuff because you're a man that wants to be feminine. Like, don't revolve your whole identity around clothes and all that shit. And I'm tired as fuck, so I'm just gonna move on. Oh yeah, so there's people like on the other side that of this trench that you think they hate you, and some of them probably do, because they think you're a groomer. Like, automatically they're gonna assume you're a groomer. It's kind of like on you to be like the bigger person though, and to be diplomatic. But partly it's on us because we're not like we're the minority. We're not gonna win a direct fight with like the whole fucking populace or against half the populace, and we're gonna get kicked under the fucking bus real fucking quick by our supposed allies if it's convenient to them. So it's kind of on us to be diplomatic, to be tactful, to make friends. And but a lot of the problem, like when let's say a Republican or something, not even a Republican, like fuck them, but fuck Democrats too. Well, let's say it's a YouTuber, right? And a lot of them are anti-trans, and they're just only seeing one side of the coin. And so, like, I might try to reach out to them, or just not even reach out. They ain't gonna see my shit, but all the people that are commenting, their followers, you know, they're all like, oh, well, you know, like we need to do this, like some violent ass shit. Sometimes it's more moderate. A lot of times it's more moderate. It's like this needs to stop, or a lot of times it's, if they don't want to be perceived this way, they need to start speaking up. Like, I don't have a choice but to start speaking up, because this is gonna get fucked up quick. Like, by 2030, by 2024, it's gonna be fucked up for us. We keep on this trajectory. But by reaching out, I could talk to them and shit. Then that lowers the tension that they're thinking like we're all groomers and whatnot. Now, I know a lot of you have some. I'm trying to be more compassionate. I shouldn't say it like that. I'm trying to stick on this point. I'll get messages from people, I guess, in my tribe, right? I'm stuck with y'all. Why are you trying to talk to them? They hate you. No, they don't hate me. They hate that thing that people obsess about and make their whole identity, and then they hate, like, you ever get between a mama bear and their cubs? Like like the shit that people are defending is on really, really bad ground. And I would like to make a video at some point where it's like I'm gonna do like the top 10 best and worst arguments for like trans people, so like we can get away from these really, really shit strawman arguments and actually get to the good ones. Like we've been around for fucking since fucking recorded history. We've been around before that. I'm trying to see. Don't project on the. I'm gonna say for this, wrapping this up. Realize you're gonna be tested. Like, as for me, like I'm a guy. I dress feminine. I would like to be treated like a lady, but that hasn't been the reality of what other people have shown me. And then life is constantly giving me like circumstances where I've had to like man up or whatever. There's also given me circumstances where I've had to be more feminine. But at the end of the day, like, people are still going to be testing. I'm still going to get those tests from life and from the higher power or God or from fate or whatever, just as life comes. But then I'm going to get tested from the guys and shit. Like, they're going to see me. They're going to try to get to me. Because that's what guys do. They fucking test each other. It's like, you ain't escaping the bro code. And you can, like, be a sissy about it and hide, okay, whatever. But, like, there's massive violations. Like if you're a man, you don't beat the fuck out of a woman. And, which means if you're someone like me, you join the UFC, you go fight men. That's on a massive social scale. On the other scale, like, if you're walking down the street, like, and someone's calling you a name, whatever, you gotta brush that shit off. Like one, as a biological male, you just gotta be able to brush that shit off. If you're a biological female trying to hang with the guys, you gotta brush that shit off. And you know, even with like, and then women are kind of gonna test you, like, there's I don't see. I haven't been socialized around a lot of women. Like it's I'm fucking tired, but I was like, I gotta do this thing. It's mostly the values in the links, so check out those links. But okay, there's courtesy and politeness and stuff, and that's a test too. That's almost the opposite of the guy test. But you're still being tested. You can't act like, you know, like, I'm a woman, and if you're a TERF, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like you're failing that test from the women because you're acting like a fucking toxic masculine. But you're embodying toxic masculinity when you do that, because it's repressed in your shadow. Which is why I say, like, go check out the links and shit. And that's all I got time for. So.